Welcome to Canada. The land of the red maple leaf, of vast green forests, crystal clear lakes, and the magical glow of the northern lights. This is where nature remains untouched, where ice, mountains, and oceans merge into a majestic portrait of the northern earth. As the second largest country in the world, after Russia, Canada is bordered by three oceans: the Atlantic Ocean to the east, the Pacific Ocean to the west, and the Arctic Ocean to the north. Despite its immense size, the population density here is very low, with most of the land covered by forests, lakes, tundra, and pristine mountain ranges. With more than 200,000 kilometers of winding coastline, Canada also has the longest seashore in the world. On the Atlantic coast, between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, lies the Bay of Fundy, home to the highest tides on the planet, where the difference can exceed 16 meters in a single day. Moving inland, endless plains and tranquil farmlands stretch to the horizon. Further north, the region of Nunavut emerges with colossal icebergs, wandering polar bears, and the midnight sun that never sets during summer. From dazzling auroras to turquoise lakes, from fiery red maple forests to multicultural cities, Canada is a symbol of harmony between nature and humankind. It is not merely a nation, but a journey that unfolds countless stories, where every land preserves its own wonder. Before we begin the exploration, let's start with a small question. Canada's first national park, famous for Moraine Lake and Lake Louise, is located in which province? Banff National Park. Imagine a majestic mountain range where towering snowy peaks are mirrored upon jade green lakes. Banff, Canada's first national park. Established in 1885, is a vast natural sanctuary covering more than 6,600 square kilometers, where wildlife roams freely through coniferous forests and glacial valleys. At Moraine Lake, the water shifts in color with the changing seasons, surrounded by waterfalls, hot springs, and the pure mountain air. At dawn, Lake Louise lies shrouded in a tranquil mist, broken only by the distant call of moose echoing across the stillness. Along the Bow Valley Parkway, bison graze peacefully upon the sacred lands of the Stoney Nakoda people. The Icefields Parkway, hailed as one of the most beautiful roads in the world, winds past glaciers and snow-capped peaks, unveiling breathtaking and rare scenery. Here, the grizzly bear still reigns supreme over the wilderness, a timeless symbol of strength and enduring wild spirit. Vancouver. Nestled between the ocean and the mountains, Vancouver, the third largest city in Canada, is where glass towers reflect the waters of the Pacific Ocean. This is a gathering place of more than 200 ethnic communities, creating a rare multicultural urban mosaic. Thanks to its mild climate, cherry blossoms bloom as early as February, painting the streets pink and drawing visitors from around the world. At the heart of the city lies Stanley Park, spanning 400 hectares with a 9-kilometer seawall, standing as a testament to the harmony between city and nature. At Brockton Point, Indigenous totem poles recount the stories of the First Nations amid ancient sequoia forests. Not far away, Gastown preserves the city's history with cobblestone streets and the warm glow of gas lamps. The sun sets. The skyline glimmers while the North Shore Mountains blush in the evening light. Vancouver, where nature and city life blend in perfect rhythm. Niagara Falls. A deep rumble grows louder, transforming into a thunderous roar that vibrates within your chest. Before you stands Niagara Falls, where more than 168,000 cubic meters of water plunge into the abyss each second, amid mist and shimmering rainbows. Standing aboard the Hornblower as it approaches the wall of water, you can feel the icy spray wrapping around your skin, a moment that captures the pure, untamed power of nature. Niagara Falls lies between Canada and the United States, And for centuries, it has inspired dreamers and adventurers, those who once dared to challenge its surging waters. Today, amid lush gardens and local vineyards, visitors can still sense that primal energy, a force that reminds humankind of its smallness before nature's grandeur. As night falls, the Cascade dons a new attire of colorful lights, creating an enchanting scene that lingers in memory. If you're enjoying this journey, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us in exploring more of Canada's incredible destinations. Québec City. Walking along the cobblestone streets of Québec City feels like stepping back in time. The only remaining fortified walls in North America encircle its historic center, where 17th century French architecture tells a story spanning more than 400 years. Amid the narrow alleys of Petit Champlain, visitors feel as though they've wandered into a living painting, while Chateau Frontenac rises proudly on the skyline, the city's most iconic symbol. From the Dufferin Terrace, one can gaze upon the majestic St. Lawrence River, where street performers bring life to the timeless surroundings. When winter arrives, Quebec adorns itself in a pure white cloak, as snow-covered rooftops and golden lamplight create a scene straight out of a fairy tale. The Victorian facades still whisper tales of the past, while the soft melody of the French language echoes among the historic landmarks, reminding all that this is the cultural heart of Quebec, where Europe and North America meet in perfect harmony. Jasper National Park. Set amid Canada's Rocky Mountains, Jasper is a vast wilderness where time seems to flow with the rhythm of the stars. It is the largest dark sky preserve in the world, where the night is so deep that the Milky Way appears within reach. From Malini Lake to the Columbia Icefield, Jasper holds a rich ecosystem, home to grizzly bears, wolves, and caribou, species that have roamed freely through the mountains for centuries. The Icefields Parkway winds through ancient glacial valleys, revealing ever-changing landscapes at every turn. At dawn, mist drifts across Pyramid Lake, while Mount Edith Cavell stands tall, its reflection mirrored in the valley below. In this serene stillness, far removed from the pace of modern life, one can rediscover an ancient bond with nature, pure and eternal. Gros Morne National Park. Gros Morne is an open-air geological laboratory where the Earth's crust rises to the surface, revealing traces of continental collision that occurred more than 485 million years ago. It stands as living evidence of plate tectonics, with eroded mountains and deep fjords carved by ancient glaciers. On the emerald waters of Western Brook Pond, towering cliffs 600 meters high surround the lake, making one feel small before the grandeur of geological time. Along the trails, visitors may encounter moose, red foxes, and migratory birds, while the coastal waters are home to whales and seals dancing among glimmering ice floes. Montreal. The sound of Montreal jazz drifts from Victorian-era houses, blending with lively conversations in cafes and the resonant chimes of the majestic Notre Dame Basilica, adorned with twin towers and gilded interiors. This is Montreal, the city of a bilingual symphony, where French and English intertwine in everyday life. The old port buzzes with visitors strolling between classical architecture and contemporary art, while the grand French-style City Hall remains a silent witness to a history still unfolding. On St. Helene Island, the shimmering biosphere dome symbolizes the city's enduring commitment to environmental sustainability. From afar, the dome of St. Joseph's Oratory atop Mount Royal rises above the skyline, a famous pilgrimage site with 283 steps that invite deep contemplation. Throughout Montreal, monuments and historic landmarks recount the story of a nation woven from two cultures, a harmonious symphony between tradition and modernity. Tofino. Located on the western edge of Vancouver Island, Tofino is where Canada's mainland ends and the Pacific Ocean begins, a land where nature remains in its purest, untamed form. Once a small fishing village, it has become a paradise for surfers, where powerful winter storms draw visitors from around the globe. On Chesterman Beach, morning mist drapes over surfers conquering the frigid waves, creating a scene both mystical and full of vitality. Surrounding Tofino is a temperate rainforest of ancient cedar trees, thousands of years old, standing in striking contrast to the blue of the sea. The landscape here transforms with the tide, revealing sandy shores teeming with marine life, while eagles glide above rugged cliffs, evoking the feeling of a wilderness where nature reigns supreme. Ottawa. Elegant and serene, Ottawa rests along the river that shares its name, a capital that balances the dignity of government with the vibrant rhythm of modern culture. At the city's core stands the Parliament Building, with its neo-Gothic architecture and the towering Peace Tower, a symbol of Canadian democracy. In winter, the nearly 8-kilometer-long Rideau Canal transforms into the world's largest natural skating rink, where locals and visitors glide between historic bridges and snow-covered parks. As the sun sets, golden light bathes the Fairmont Chateau Laurier, a grand hotel with classic European charm, while national museums preserve the heritage and stories of a young yet deeply rooted nation. Ottawa captivates not through grandeur, but through quiet grace, a whispering capital for those who know how to listen. Whistler. Imagine standing among majestic peaks, crisp air filling your lungs, and adrenaline surging through your veins. This is Whistler, Canada's winter sports capital and the host of the 2010 Olympic Games. Nestled within the coast mountains of British Columbia, Whistler transforms with the seasons in winter, a snow-covered wonderland; in summer, a vibrant haven of hiking trails and crystal-clear alpine lakes. The pedestrian village welcomes visitors with the signature warmth of Canadian hospitality, where luxury and adventure blend seamlessly in an atmosphere of harmony. Visitors often come for the snow, but stay for the sunsets over the peaks, the deer crossing through the forests, and the profound sense of freedom that only Canada's wild nature can offer. You've just explored Whistler. Now test your knowledge with a quick question. Whistler gained worldwide fame when it hosted the greatest winter sports event on the planet in which year? Prince Edward Island. Have you ever wondered what life inside a watercolor painting might look like? Prince Edward Island is the answer, an emerald green gem floating in the vast Atlantic Ocean. As the smallest province of Canada, this island holds a serene beauty with its red cliffs, solitary lighthouses, and golden beaches stretching endlessly toward the horizon. The most remarkable highlight is the Confederation Bridge, spanning 13 kilometers to connect the island with the mainland, an engineering marvel crossing the Northumberland Strait. Beyond it lie sweeping farmlands, where the iron-rich red soil contrasts beautifully with the green hues of maple and birch forests. The island's charm lies not only in its landscapes, but also in its gentle pace of life, seemingly untouched by time. As sunset falls, golden light transforms fishing villages and farms into tranquil scenes, evoking a peaceful and pure countryside dream. Abraham Lake is a man-made reservoir in Alberta's wilderness, created by the Bighorn Dam in 1972. In winter, it transforms into an enchanting spectacle where methane bubbles are trapped beneath the transparent ice, forming layered white circles like glass discs. This phenomenon occurs when organic matter decomposes at the lake's bottom, and methane gas freezes as it rises to the surface. In summer, the lake takes on an entirely different appearance. Turquoise waters mirror the sky, while mountain winds ripple across the calm surface. Nestled within the Canadian Rockies, the lake offers breathtaking panoramic views all year round. Abraham Lake is a harmony between human creation and untouched nature, a hidden mystery for those seeking beauty beyond the beaten path. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming adventures. Let's continue exploring the extraordinary beauty of our planet together. Halifax, where the salty scent of the sea blends with the youthful rhythm of a vibrant university town. Halifax, the capital of Nova Scotia, welcomes visitors with a skyline crowned by the star-shaped citadel, built in 1749. Along the bustling harbor, old taverns still echo with ancient sea ballads, mingling with the aroma of fresh seafood from modern waterfront restaurants. But Halifax is not only full of life, it also carries deep memories, the resting place of Titanic survivors, and the site of the devastating 1917 explosion that once leveled the city. Despite its tragedies, Halifax rose again with the resilient spirit of the Canadian people, a place where sorrow and joy coexist in rare harmony, leaving an unforgettable impression on every traveler. Yoho National Park. The name Yoho comes from the Cree language, meaning wonder, and no place could be more deserving of that name than this park. Nestled within the Rocky Mountains of British Columbia, Yoho is a lesser-known gem of Canada's park system, home to majestic waterfalls, emerald green lakes, and peaks rising over 3,000 meters. Emerald Lake glimmers true to its name, surrounded by coniferous forests that shelter bears, moose, and red foxes. Yoho's most precious treasure is the Burgess Shales, a marine fossil bed more than 505 million years old, telling the story of Earth's earliest life forms. The landscape here is ever-changing, from Takako Falls, one of the tallest in Canada, to tiny alpine flowers that still bloom bravely during the brief summer. Yoho is a land that whispers ancient secrets, meant only for those who pause and listen. St. John's. The oldest city in North America sits upon steep hills painted with the bright colors of jelly bean houses, defying the Atlantic fog with cheer and optimism. At the continent's easternmost edge, this is where you can be the first in North America to witness the sunrise at Cape Spear, the easternmost point of Canada. The rhythm of St. John's flows with the crashing waves against its cliffs. Yet the city's true spirit lives in its cozy pubs, where nights turn into spontaneous gatherings filled with traditional music and seafaring tales. There is something raw and genuine about this place, a land that makes everyone who arrives feel as though they stand at the very end of the world, or perhaps at its very beginning. Okanagan Valley. Okanagan Valley, located in British Columbia, defies all expectations with scenery that evokes Tuscany or Provence rather than the cold northern wilderness. Thanks to its unique microclimate, it has become the cradle of Canada's wine industry, home to more than 200 wineries scattered across sun-drenched rolling hills. Okanagan Lake, a 135-kilometer stretch of blue water, forms the heart of the valley, where warm summers invite visitors to swim beneath the sun between moments of wine tasting. According to the legend of the indigenous Syilx people, the mythical creature Ogopogo, the spirit of the lake, still dwells in its deep waters. Along the lake's shores, vineyards, peach, cherry, and apple orchards weave a colorful landscape that changes with the seasons. Okanagan has earned the title California of Canada, where nature generously bestows sunlight, water, and fertile soil, turning this land into an enchanting paradise of wine and cuisine. Athabasca River and Falls. The Athabasca River, born from glaciers in the Rockies, flows freely for more than 1,200 kilometers across Alberta, serving as the wild lifeblood of northern Canada. This river once guided indigenous peoples and explorers who braved its powerful currents for centuries. The most striking highlight along its course is Athabasca Falls, located within Jasper National Park, where water plunges 23 meters through a canyon sculpted by millennia of erosion. The force of the falls creates a thunderous natural symphony, while mist rises and glimmers softly in the valley air. In winter, the waterfall transforms into surreal blue ice columns, resembling a crystal cathedral from another world. Algonquin Provincial Park. In the heart of Ontario, Algonquin Provincial Park stretches across more than 7,653 square kilometers, where wolves howl through the night and moose silently cross misty lakes at dawn. It is Canada's oldest provincial park, a symbol of wilderness that remains welcoming to all who visit. With over 2,400 lakes nestled among northern forests, Algonquin is a paradise for canoeing and exploration. Travelers can journey for days along ancient waterways once used by indigenous peoples centuries ago. In autumn, the forest transforms into a symphony of colors as brilliant red maple leaves draw visitors from around the world. The park also houses an interactive museum that showcases its natural and cultural heritage, reflecting the deep bond between this land and Canada's identity, a connection that continues to grow through time. Calgary. Calgary carries the vibrant energy of the oil industry, which transformed a small frontier town into one of Alberta's most modern cities. Despite its contemporary skyline, the city's soul still beats with the rugged spirit of the Western cowboy. Every July, Calgary dons its festive attire for the legendary 10-day stampede, featuring rodeo competitions, chuck wagon races, and outdoor pancake breakfasts, all celebrating Canada's proud Western heritage. From the Calgary Tower, visitors can admire the prairie skyline stretching toward the Rocky Mountains, which stand tall like a natural fortress to the west. The city's modern icons, the Peace Bridge spanning the Bow River and the Canada Olympic Park, embody Calgary's sporting spirit and its ability to turn challenges into opportunities. Charlevoix. Charlevoix, located in the province of Quebec, is one of the rare places on Earth where landscapes achieve perfect harmony. Formed by a meteor impact 350 million years ago, it is a natural amphitheater where the St. Lawrence River meets steep mountains, creating a breathtaking scene that feels like an embrace between heaven and earth. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Biosphere Reserve, Charlevoix is a land where nature reigns supreme. Its northern forests turn radiant shades of red and gold in autumn, before being blanketed in white snow for 6 long winter months. When the river freezes and temperatures drop to minus 30 degrees Celsius, breath crystallizes in the air, and the crunch of snow becomes the only sound breaking the silence. On the St. Lawrence River, massive ice floes drift beside the silhouettes of whales surfacing from the deep ocean, a magical sight found nowhere else on Earth. Alberta Badlands. The Alberta Badlands are where time has etched its mark upon the Earth, revealing some of the planet's oldest secrets hidden beneath layers of stone and soil. Stretching across the Canadian prairies, this landscape resembles a geological scar, carved with winding canyons, multicolored sedimentary rocks, and rugged terrain that mirrors the surface of the moon. Shaped by millions of years of erosion, the Badlands hold one of the world's most valuable paleontological treasures. Drumheller, known as the dinosaur capital of the world, lies at its heart, a place where fossils of dinosaurs, mosasaurs, and pterosaurs have been unearthed from the remains of an ancient inland sea that once covered the region. Today, beyond its scientific significance, this land preserves old coal mines, ghost towns, and traces of early pioneers. As the sun sets, golden light transforms the stratified rocks into a radiant painting, a beauty no camera can capture, yet one that lingers forever in memory. Edmonton. Located in north-central Alberta, where the North Saskatchewan River winds through a lush green valley, Edmonton is a city rich in cultural vitality, defying the harsh climate of the prairie. Nicknamed the City of Champions, Edmonton reveals two distinct faces with the changing seasons. In summer, when temperatures can reach 38 degrees Celsius, the city transforms into a vast open-air stage worthy of its title festival city. Parks like William Hawrelak burst to life with concerts, cultural events, and especially the Edmonton International Fringe Theatre Festival, the largest of its kind in North America, drawing artists from across the globe. Mont-Tremblant. Hidden within Quebec's ancient Laurentian mountains, Mont-Tremblant resembles a small village lifted straight from the European Alps, yet it preserves the uniquely Canadian joie de vivre. In winter, 96 snowy slopes welcome skiers of all levels to conquer the Trembling Mountain, a name given by the indigenous people. When summer arrives, the deep blue Tremblant Lake invites visitors to paddle, fish, or wander through winding forest trails shaded by graceful maple trees. What makes Mont-Tremblant truly special is its closeness to nature. Within minutes, you can step from a fine restaurant and find yourself face to face with a black bear in the woods. This harmony between comfort and adventure defines the quintessential outdoor experience of Canada. Kelowna. Nestled within the sun-soaked Okanagan Valley, Kelowna shines like a precious jewel between arid mountains and the cobalt blue waters of Okanagan Lake. Located in British Columbia, this city defies the familiar image of a frozen Canada, where more than 2,000 hours of sunshine each year nurture award-winning vineyards and abundant orchards. Strolling along the lakefront, visitors might easily mistake it for the Mediterranean, with palm trees, golden beaches, and white sails gliding across the horizon. Just a glance upward reveals distant snow-capped peaks, reminding you that this is still Canada, vast, diverse, and magnificent. Life here flows at an unhurried pace, kayaking at dawn, wine tasting among sunlit vineyards in the afternoon, and ending the day with a glass of sweet ice wine, the signature delicacy that has made Kelowna renowned around the world. Shannon Falls. From a height of 335 meters, Shannon Falls cascades down dark granite cliffs surrounded by centuries-old Douglas fir forests. It is the third highest waterfall in British Columbia, a marvel that captivates not only the eyes but all the senses. The roar of falling water, the cool mist, and the crisp mountain air. Located near the town of Squamish, along the Sea-to-Sky Highway connecting Vancouver and Whistler, Shannon Falls is easily accessible, yet retains its wild and majestic character. Its waters originate from glaciers high in the mountains, rushing powerfully in the spring thaw and flowing more gently in the warmth of summer. A moss-covered trail lined with giant ferns leads visitors close to the cascade, where they can feel the raw geological force that shaped this awe-inspiring landscape. A humbling reminder of how small humanity truly is before the boundless power of nature. Revelstoke. Nestled between the Selkirk and Monashee Ranges of British Columbia, Revelstoke is a well-kept secret cherished by deep snow enthusiasts for generations. This small railway town has transformed into a skiing paradise, boasting the longest vertical descent in North America. A stunning 1,713 meters, overshadowing even the continent's most famous resorts. Affectionately known as Revy by locals, Revelstoke shines in every season. In summer, it becomes a haven for hikers and mountain bikers, while the nearby Mount Revelstoke National Park allows visitors to drive from temperate rainforest to alpine tundra in under an hour, a rare experience anywhere in the world. The true charm of Revelstoke lies in its perfect balance, modern enough for comfort, yet wild enough to capture the pioneering spirit of the Canadian frontier. Nova Scotia Peninsula. Shrouded in the mists of the Atlantic, Nova Scotia tells tales of shipwrecks, pirates, and fearless fishermen, timeless symbols of Canada's maritime spirit. This coastal province is a stunning mosaic of colorful fishing villages, solitary lighthouses standing firm on wind-swept cliffs, and endless beaches where only the cries of seagulls break the silence. The most striking highlight is the Cabot Trail on Cape Breton Island, hailed as one of the most spectacular coastal routes in the world, winding gracefully between mountains and the deep blue ocean. Venturing inland, Nova Scotia reveals a gentler side: green meadows, lush forests, and rivers weaving peacefully through quiet valleys. The region is also renowned for its Gravenstein apple orchards, cultivated for more than 2 centuries, painting the landscape in golden and crimson hues each autumn. As our journey across Canada comes to an end, we have traveled from untamed wilderness to iconic urban landmarks, discovering the wondrous diversity of this land's nature, culture, and people. Every region, every river, and every mountain holds its own story, each contributing to the unique soul of this northern nation. We hope the images and stories in this video have given you a fresh perspective on the land of the maple leaf, a place where beauty is found in both grandeur and simplicity. Thank you for choosing to watch our video. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next episodes, where we'll continue exploring more breathtaking destinations around the world.